Greetings, everyone. This is Silverblade Dagger, and I'm playing 7 Days to Die. This is episode 10, I believe. And while I was gone, or between episodes, I guess you could say, I've done a little bit of work. As I had stated early on, I wanted to get rid of all of the bushes, and I have done so. Cleared out all obstacles except for rocks and grass, but mostly everything else just wiped off the map, so it provides a nice clean slate, and you definitely can see the zombies coming when they come. In this episode, I'm going to focus on building up from the core and starting up a second floor on the base. And so I got everything loaded up in my inventory. Got some wood for upgrades. Got some iron ingots in case I need to make more rebar, which I will most definitely be needing. Cement, nail gun. I put wood frames in because I might end up switching things up. I sometimes change my mind. So I have those on there. Another thing to note is, I got the railings up. I put a chest up here because when I got in that horde, I was afraid that my guns were going to snap or run out of ammo. So, as you can see, I got backup weapons, plenty of ammo, a little bit of venison stew here, and materials for repairs. So I got weapon kits, metal strips. So if we have some unwelcome company, I got the materials to take care of it and not be in a deficit. So the idea for this is to go with reinforced concrete. Now at this level, I'm not really using it so much for defensive strength as I'm using it for load strength. I thought about doing it all in wood, and there might be parts of it that might actually do in wood, but for the most part I'm going to continue using the reinforced concrete, partly mostly because of the structural integrity issues with it, but also it maintains a consistent flow, style and looks wise, and so that's what I'm going to be doing with that. Anyway, let's get to it. So we'll start off with framing up the walls, at least the general outline. And since most of this floor is going to be mainly for just combat, I really don't need much outside the core. Anything I would need chests wise, I've already got up ahead there, and I'll put another chest on that other pillar, in case I want to put food and water in there, and possibly building supplies, depending on how this all progresses. Now I want to build this area up at least a 3 minimum height. See if we can get through it, because apparently our characters are 2 and like a quarter blocks tall, which is kind of weird because sometimes we can actually fit through these with no problem. Alright, so let's see if we can get back in here. Come on. And oh, I'm out of blocks. Alright, that one's going to be just a temporary one. Come on. Nudge down. There we go. You don't go there. Alright, so we got the 3 high. This is what it looked like standing in it. So we should be able to fit in that if we put a block in the 4th level up there. So as you can see, that's kind of shaping up there. Alright, so let's get up in here. Get these in place. Now I'm not sure when Alpha 12 will be available. It's been rumored, it's been mouthed, I guess. I don't even know so much of a rumor, but it's been said that it may be coming out tomorrow, which would be June 1st. And if that is the case, I might stay with Alpha 11.5, if anything, just to finish this build. And then after I finish this particular build, I'm just going to archive my save files and profile and start fresh in Alpha 12. Let's see, let's switch out to the nail gun. And I'm out of wood. Heh. Should have seen that one coming. But yeah, when Alpha 12 comes out, I may very well stick with Alpha 11.5 until I can get this base done. I definitely have some ideas for Alpha 12, you know, a new start. I'm kind of contemplating playing a random map for the first time. I've never actually done multiplayer or a random map for single player. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about maybe doing 2 games simultaneously, but I just don't know how that's gonna work, at least with my time and all that. That's kind of tentative, so we'll see how that goes. And we'll get this side. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, so that's all plywooded in. Let's get the concrete on. And then I'm going to show something I had planned that I don't recall seeing anybody else doing, so a little bit of lag there. Excuse me. So that is all mudded in and secure. Now the thing I've noticed with reinforced concrete, first you got the rebar blocks, and the rebar frames have a max load of 320 and a mass of 20. So basically you can go out 16 spaces with them before it structurally will collapse unless you have it supported. Now, one thing I've noticed, and I did this with my previous base, is that that's what the rebar frames are, but what are the stats for when it's just a plywood? And then what is the stats for when it's wet concrete? And then what are the stats for when it is dried reinforced concrete? I think they change because what I'm setting up to do here in a minute, when I did it on my previous base, it ended up collapsing parts of it, even though it shouldn't have collapsed. And it wasn't until the earlier blocks had dried out that the additional blocks on the ends were able to stick. And it wasn't, you couldn't have, like, let's say these blocks here are gone, so that just these up here are hanging. So if you had all these two here were dry, and this was wet, and this is wet, and then for some reason the one on the end dries, the one on the end that's dried is heavier than apparently these wet ones can tolerate, and plop, it would just drop right off, which I found to be both frustrating and a tad weird. So we'll see if we can get around that this time around. Now, what I'm going to do now is make some ramps. And I don't think I'll need that many. We'll see. I can't remember how many the wedges were. So, rebar ramp frame. Now, let's see. I want 2 pillars per side, so that's 8 pillars. And starting from here, so 8 times 2, it would be 16. So we'll start off with 16 of these. And I don't have enough to make 16 of them. We got 15 of them. Wait. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Let's do this again. Rebar ramp frame. 15. Okay, I'll need to make one more. Okay. So, which way does that go? Okay. Alright, so we're going to start off like this on the outer corners. There we go. I really hope they change that for Alpha 12. Okay, so we got that there. Let's keep that as rebar for now. We'll swap in blocks. So we'll put a block here, here, here. You see where this is going? And if I can get it up in there. Okay. So we got that set. Now, before we do another ramp on this edge, let's test this out, see how we fit. Oh yeah, we're not knocking our heads into that at all, because in the previous base, I had the ramp start at the bottom and progressively reach out from there. The problem with that is when I went to come out the door and around the corner, I kept whacking my head and it stopped me in place, and I had to shift around, and it just became a pain in the neck, amongst other places. So let's plywood these forms up. Move. Keep getting hung up on the metal trussing. There we go. So now you can see how that's starting to shape up. So let's mud it in. Let's go with the full bucket. Alright, so that's all mudded in. Now, just plop that on top there for space. Let's get our ramps out again. Let's see which one. I think it was this side here that starts off first. Provided we can actually see which way it's turned. Which is really annoying. There we go. So we'll start over here. Oh, that was a mistake. Not a biggie. That's what I love about the blocks that you can actually pick up if you make a boo-boo on. And like that one. Turn! Alright. Haha. Alright. So we got that set up. Let's tack these bad boys in. Alright. I'm thinking of waiting before mudding these in, but they're close enough to these here that don't believe it to be a problem, and if it is, well, hopefully I can catch it on video and show exactly what I mean. Alright, so that's all good. And those will support the floor above it. So I won't need to place pillars out here for that. Now what I'm hoping, because I really haven't tried this to be certain, and if I did, I don't remember what I did. I want to put a floor on top of this so that this entire deck is wide open. And the room above should fit in within these pillars here, where this row of metal trussing is here will be the outer limit of the walls for the floor above. And that way this out here will be jutting out from the main body of the base. You follow me? Okie doke. And maybe if I might end up having to put pillars up, but I'm not so sure yet. If worst comes to worst, I could put metal trussing up in here. Don't like that idea, but I might be able to find a material I can put over it like a veneer, so I don't have to see it. Because down here, I'm kind of stuck with it. It's mainly for seeing where the zombies are. You know, the iron bars are supposed to do the heavy lifting in that regard, being able to see the zombies in there. But I find that sometimes you're moving around and you need these for structural support, but you can see through them. It's kind of a weird trade-off. But up here, that's not my concern. You know, I'm not worried about shooting through up here, because that's not what that place is for. It's all down here. So, I'm kind of waiting for this to dry before I make my next move, because I don't know if I want to go out one more. It'll make this higher, but it'll put a support beam out further, which would help on these corners here in case they get flaky. So we'll have to see how that goes. In the meanwhile, let's go up above and see what the view will be like. Huh? And get these things up, drop down. Now I'm going to run the ladder all the way up to the core. It's going to be just continuous all the way through. Unless it poses a problem, and then we'll change plans. So yeah, this is what the view will look like from up here, and really the view isn't going to be a major issue with the upper floors, because mainly all I'm going to be doing up in these areas will be foraging, cooking, inventory management, and then the top floor will be a farm. So really I'm not going to be fixating on the view as much as I'm going to be fixating on getting stuff done. It's the whole first floor that is to worry about the view, and with the view mainly just for killing zombies. But you get a nice view from up above here. And I think I might even get a screenshot of this. So, what do you think? Say cheese! Okay, hopefully that took a screenshot. If not, there's a second one. Okay. Alright, as you can see, one's already started drying. The other one started drying. Yeah, they're all starting to dry in the core now. So it's just a matter of time here. And it'll be almost time for another airdrop, which I am going to go all Pavlovian with and hear the plane and run for the plane. Even though, really, I just don't want to deal with the airdrops anymore. I mean, they just drop in the same old crap. And most of my stuff is better than what they've been dropping anyway, at least in terms of weapon parts. And I'm not really that crazy about the SMG, so I really don't really care to get those parts either. Alright, well, what do you think? Should I keep it at this level, 4 blocks high, or go up a 5th level and then a floor? Let's see what it would look like, huh? At least frame it out. That's one of the nice things about these wood frames is you can frame it out and you can see it a little better. It's not as messy looking as, say, the metal rebar frames with all the extra rebar pipes worming its way through it. Excuse me. Alright, so let's see how this looks. And get up here. There we go. See how this looks, and see if we should go up another floor or not. I'm kind of tempted to go up another floor, you know, just, come on, which one? Alright. Go up another floor just to see what it would look like. And really, the height doesn't so much matter. It just means more materials used, that's all. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Come on. Alright, so there's that. Alright, I'll probably do that side last. hopefully this doesn't all collapse, but it shouldn't. It's tight into the beefier blocks, but with this game you never can tell sometimes. I mean, when it comes to mining, you think you're hitting like potassium nitrate and you end up getting lead. You think you're hitting rock and you end up getting iron. Or, this game has a good tendency of at least throwing me for a loop sometimes. What's supposed to be doesn't always mean it will be. And then there's times that it's perfectly consistent. Or perfectly inconsistent. Alright. So we'll just put that one away for now. Oh, oh! Lucky you didn't break my ankle on that one. Alright, so now let's see what it looks like. Okay, I still gotta go out another block. So let's try doing that, huh? Come on, back it up. There we go. See, I have concerns about the corners. Huh? Definitely heard it. And I know that, I think it was Games for Kicks in the Broken Ankle multiplayer video that they did the other day. He was able to see it kind of like, I guess you could say, corner of the eye. Because if you look directly at it, it disappeared. But if you had it so it was right off the edge, say like this torch here was off to the very edge of the screen, then you could see the airplane and the supply drop. So let me get the coordinates here. Okay, we're looking at, let's see, -175 and -504. Okay, I'm probably just going to get that one off camera because we already did running after one on camera. And if anyone has any questions about how to find them, just leave a question in the comment section. I try to reply to all messages sent to me, so don't be ashamed, don't be afraid, don't be shy. And for the record, I am playing Alpha 11.5, and it seems to me that the update that they put out last night, or the night before, should have fixed the invisible airplane. The whole drunken Wonder Woman thing should have been fixed. Alright, so that's what it looks like. And it does come out over this metal truss without needing supports. For now. In which case, I don't know if I like having like this lip compared to here, or if I should build up another level and extend these to come flush with the outside. Hmm. And this right here is an example. Now, apparently it's sticking for now. But, yeah, when this piece dried before these on my test build, it dried and just plopped right off. Didn't make a lick of sense because it was out about this far, if not one more out. It shouldn't have fallen. There was perfect load bearing on it. There was nothing on top, and it just fell right off. Hopefully it sticks this time. So, that's this for now. Let's go up top and do a walkabout. And hopefully I'm not like horribly clumsy up here, because every now and then, things are going really smooth, and then it just chunk city. So let's see, the walls would be like right along here. I should have kept count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, perfect. It's the same dimensions as my test base, where I had that whole wall lined up with forges on this side and what would have been that side. So that works out perfectly. And then I can do cooking stoves on this side and the other side, so I can kind of double up on things. So yeah, that seems to be working out pretty darn good. So I will be taking these wood blocks down and replacing them with rebar, but I'll be doing that off camera, because you guys have seen it done once. I think you guys get the idea of how that works. So yeah, it's starting to dry up, starting to look good. And then there'll be a floor above that and a floor above that. So yeah. Let's take a look at it from ground level, huh? Oh, one other thing. I did put iron bars in the gun port windows there, so there's that. There you go. Get up here. Yeah. Let's see. Do a screenshot. Hopefully. There we go. And F7 will remove the overlays and stuff like that, except for the numbers in the very top. That's from DxStory for recording. But yeah, I'm liking it. It's an improvement over what I did in the test game, at least in my opinion. If you think I can do better, let me know. Because again, I'll probably end up replicating this and improving on this in Alpha 12. Excuse me. So yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to cut it off now and do the rest of the work. Getting the floor in and the walls. Yeah, I'm going to keep it like this. Have that lip around it. I don't think it's going to harm it too much to not have a pillar on the corners or extend it out. I think this should be decent enough. If you disagree, like I said, just leave it in the comments. If you have better advice, just I'm always willing to listen. So anyways, that's it for this episode. It's probably shorter than my other episodes, but yeah, if you like what you see, click like. If you don't like what you see, click dislike. If you're bored, click dislike, then like. Cancel each other out. If you have any comments, leave them in the section below. Please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this, and maybe it has given you some ideas for your own builds. And if you see ways to innovate this, I would love to hear them. So that's it for now. See you later. Twitch.